Ninth problem we'll do first. Say this. A vertical cylinder closed at both ends is fitted with a smooth piston dividing the volume into two parts, each containing 1 mole of air. At the equilibrium temperature of 320 Kelvin, the upper and lower parts are in the ratio 4 is to 1 volume. The ratio will become 3 is to 1 at a temperature of what? So actually this is IA Erdo problem. And also this problem was given in previous advance. See this. Here at the initial temperature, the piston is in equilibrium. If you account for the equilibrium of the piston, so here P2 will exert upward force on the piston. Am I correct? It is P2 into A. The pressure of this air will exert upward force. The pressure of this portion will exert downward force P1A, P1 into A. Now mg will be acting downward. So initially, if you account for equilibrium, so this is what we get. So there is sum of upward force equal to P2A is equal to P1A plus mg. Now P2 is equal to P1 plus mg by A. Now mg by A I want. mg by A is equal to P2 minus P1. Remember this. Say this is equation number 1. But for each part, you can apply ideal gas equation. Say the volume of this is V and the volume of this will be 4V. Am I correct? So if I apply ideal gas equation separately for the lower part and upper part, so lower part P2V is equal to mu RT naught. Initial temperature is T naught. You say that T naught equal to 320 Kelvin. Okay. So now number of moles is equal to 1. So P2 is equal to number of moles is equal to 1 R T naught divided by V. Similarly, P1 is equal to, similarly, if you apply ideal gas equation for the upper part, R T naught divided by 4V you'll get. Am I correct, children? Okay. Substitute this P2 and P1 in the equation number 1. So if you substitute P2 and P1 in the equation number 1, so what you'll get here, mg by A is equal to R T naught divided by V minus R T naught divided by 4V. So mg by A is equal to, so 4V is the LCM here, then so 3 RT naught you will get here, 3 RT naught. This equation is a equation number 2. Copy till here, children. Copy till here. So the P2 will exert an upward force on the piston, that is P2A. P1 will exert downward force on the piston, that is P1 into A. Now mg will be acting downward. So initially, if you account for equilibrium of the piston, okay, so this is what you get. First copy this equation number 2 and equation number 3. Now we heat the whole cylinder. So when we heat the whole cylinder, then the piston will rise upward. What is mg by A? Mg by A is the extra pressure exerted by the weight of the piston. That mg by A will be same in both the cases. Okay, so all of you copied this, children? Copied? Now second case, when you write the temperature, second case, remember mg by A is equal to 3 RT naught by 4V. Then now second case. Today's new chapter. No new chapter. I don't teach any new chapter. After this, I will do some previous year's mains questions. That's it. So now Okay, so in the second case, this volume is a V dash, this volume will become 3V dash. Am I correct, children? So the ratio of volumes will be 3:1 and temperature also will be different. Again, you account for equilibrium. Now pressures also you see P1 dash and P2 dash. So as usual here, P2 dash into A will be there. Downward mg will be there. Again, you account for equilibrium. And downward, one more force will be there, P1 dash into A. P1 dash. It is P1 dash into A. Actually, that is, or else I'll write this volumes this side. So here volume is V dash, you say. This is 3V dash. Okay, now again, if you account for equilibrium, so here P2 dash into A, and here P1 dash into A and mg. Again, you account for equilibrium. Again, you account for equilibrium. So sum of upward force P2 dash A, so is equal to P1 dash A plus mg. Okay, now divide the whole equation with A. If you divide the whole equation with A, then you'll get mg by A. Again, you'll get mg by A. Pull the value of that mg by A. Mg by A is equal to P2 dash minus P1 dash. Am I correct? Say this is equation number 3. Children, again apply ideal gas equation for the lower part and upper part. If you apply ideal gas equation for the lower part, P2 dash V dash is equal to 1 into RT, or else P2 dash is equal to RT by V dash. Similarly, so P1 dash is equal to what? P1 dash is equal to RT by 3V dash. Substitute this P1 dash and P2 dash in equation number 3. We substitute in equation number 3, what you will get? Mg by A is equal to P2 dash minus P1 dash. P2 dash RT by V dash minus RT by 3V dash. So now, so 3V dash is the LCM. So we'll get 2RT. Am I correct? 2RT. So this is mg by A. Say this is equation number 4. So carefully observe, children. Equation number 2 equal to equation number 3. Am I correct? Left hand side mg by A. There also mg by A. Here also mg by A. Observe carefully, children. मेरे बच्चे, observe. Equation number 2 equal to equation number 4. Okay. So equation number 2 equal to equation number 4. Now equate left hand side. So right, when left hand sides are same, right hand sides also will be same. Okay, equation number 2 equal to equation number 3. Okay, I'll come to that. First copy this. Copied. Now equate equation number 2 and 4. Equation number 2 and 4. Copy this. The copying, tell me. Done? Okay. Now equate equation number 2 and 3. Sorry, 2 and 4. Equation number 2 is equal to equation number 4. What is that? 3R T naught. T naught we know. T naught is initial temperature by 4V is equal to 2RT by 3V dash. Am I correct? Yes or no? But here totally how many unknowns we have? 3 unknowns. V is unknown, V dash is unknown, T is also unknown. How to eliminate these two unknowns, V and V dash? So actually we want T value. T naught we know, R will get cancelled anyhow. So how to eliminate this V and V dash? See, children, whether the piston moves upward or downward, total volume remains same, no? Total volume remains same. Am I correct? Total volume remains same. Initial total volume equal to final total volume. Initial total volume will be equal to final total volume. Initial total volume is 4V plus V. Final total volume is V dash plus 3V dash. Am I correct? Yes or no? Okay. So 5V is equal to 4V dash. So V dash is equal to 5V by 4. Am I correct? So that V dash value substitute in this equation. Say this is equation number 5. Now take the equation number 5. 5 implies, so 3T naught divided by 4V is equal to 2T by 3 into 5V divided by 4. V gets cancelled here. Okay. So now T value you have to calculate. So T value. So 3T naught divided by 4 equal to, so 8T by 15. That implies T is equal to what? T equal to 45 T naught divided by 32. T naught value substitute 320 Kelvin. You will get T equal to 450 Kelvin. 450 Kelvin. So at that temperature, so the volume ratios will become 3:1. Okay, understood, children? Understood? Copy that. See this question. So in the 22nd question, option A, children, they are asking, they are not asking molar heat capacity, they are asking uh, coefficient of volume expansion of gases. Coefficient of volume expansion. That means gamma they're asking, volume expansion. Children, gas for gases, that is for gases only, children. For gases at constant pressure, for gases. Children, gases will expand more compared to solids and liquids, right? The expansion of gases is more when compared to liquids and gases. So gamma, they're asking, gamma is equal to change in the volume divided by original volume into delta theta. This is how we define gamma. Am I correct? Since for gases, the delta V is much more compared to liquids and gases. And even for gases, for all gases, more or less they expand the same. Why? Because the expansion of, if you raise the temperature of any gas by 1 degree centigrade, and if you allow it to expand, the change in the volume is more or less same for all the gases. Why it is same for all the gases, all types of gases? Because that expansion of gases itself is more, right? Very large. So that expansion, the change in the volume is more or less same for all types of gases. So this gamma is same for all gases. Same for all gases. For all gases, gamma. They are not asking about liquids and solids. Yeah, macroscopic. So they are not asking for liquids and solids. They are asking for gases. Gases do expand more. So that expansion is more or less same for all the gases. So the coefficient of volume expansion is almost the same for all the gases. Okay. So option A is 3. Gamma is Cp by Cv. That is different. Gamma is different. This gamma, okay. Don't get this gamma with that gamma. Gamma is Cp by Cv. Okay. This is actually for coefficient of volume expansion also we use gamma, right? This gamma is that gamma. Expansion gamma, not Cp by Cv. Okay, or else use a different symbol. Use a different symbol. Use which symbol you want to use. Okay, don't use any symbol. Or else. See, for volume expansion, which symbol we use gamma, right? That gamma I use it here. Anything, gamma naught or gamma something. Or else don't use any symbol. Coefficient of volume expansion of gases is same for all gases. Why? Because they expand more. Generally, they expand more. And so that expansion is same for all gases for unit rising temperature at constant pressure. Okay, right. See this question. So 3 rods. So 3 rods of copper. 3 rods of copper, brass, and steel are welded together, and steel are welded together to form a Y-shaped structure. To form a Y-shaped structure. So to form a Y-shaped structure, area of cross section of each rod is area of cross section area of cross section area of cross section cross section of each rod is 4 centimeter square. 4 centimeter square. That I'll write 4 centimeter square. End of copper rod is maintained at 100 degrees centigrade. End of copper rod is maintained at 100 degrees centigrade. 100 degree centigrade. So whereas ends of brass and steel are kept at 0 degree centigrade. Whereas ends of brass and steel rods are kept at 0 degree centigrade. 0 degree centigrade. So lengths of copper, brass, and steel rods are lengths of copper, brass, steel rods. Steel rods are 46, 13, 12 centimeter respectively. 12 centimeter respectively. The rods are thermally insulated from surrounding except at ends. Thermal conductivities of copper. So thermal conductivities of copper, brass, steel are 0.92, 0.26, 0.26, 0.12 CGS units. 0.12 CGS units. It's better to give space. 12 CGS units. Okay, respectively. Find the rate of heat flow through copper rod. Find the rate of heat flow means heat current. Rate of heat flow. Rate of heat flow through copper rod. Through copper rod. Okay, this is the question, children. Okay, this is 4 centimeters square. 1 minute. 4 centimeters square area. Okay, right. Everything is given in CGS units. Okay, now you have to calculate rate of heat flow. So rate of heat flow. Can you rate of heat flow through copper rod? Okay, so this is how they are arranged. So this is copper rod. This is copper rod. First copper comes, right? Copper, brass, and steel. This is copper. This is brass. This is steel. Yeah. You have to find rate of heat flow. Here we have 100 degrees centigrade. Here 0 degrees centigrade. Here 0 degrees centigrade. You have to find rate of heat flow through copper rod. Can you solve? I'll give the options. Everything is given in CGS units. So you'll get the answer in CGS units only. 2.4 calories per second. C. 4.8 calories per second. 6.0 calories per second. Solve it, children. And problem also we did based on this. Options also they gave in CGS units. Let's reply, children. Solve and tell me the answer. This is copper rod. This is brass rod. This is steel rod. But because copper comes first, right? That's why. Yes. Anyone got the answer? Children, are you there? So they want rate of heat flow only through copper rod. Rate of heat flow is nothing but heat current. Rate of heat flow is nothing but heat current. There is correct. There is B correct. There is B correct. Suprita Raj correct. Yeah. So Suhas Gaustubhala correct. Yeah, Anyut correct. So the correct option is C. Yeah, many are replied. Yeah, it is C. See, children, you don't get this heat current in the copper rod straight away. First, you have to find the junction temperature. Say the junction temperature is theta. So first we have to find the junction temperature. Heat flowing through this rod is equal to heat flowing through this rod plus heat flowing through this rod. Am I correct? So H1 is equal to H2 plus H3. What is H1 temperature difference? So 100 minus theta divided by resistance, thermal resistance. How do you calculate thermal resistance? L by Ka. Okay, so for copper rod, what is L? 46. Okay, so it is 46 divided by, so L by Ka. What is the K value for copper rod? 0.92 into area. Area is 4 centimeters square. It is same for all of them. So it is 4 centimeters square. Okay, so it is 4. So it is equal to H2. What is H2? Theta minus 0 divided by L by Ka. What is the length of brass? 0.26 divided by K. Sorry, length is 13. So length is 13. So 13 divided by K is 0.26 into 4 plus theta minus 0 divided by L of steel is 12 centimeter divided by K is 0.12 into 4. 4 gets cancelled. If you simplify, children, if you simplify this theta value, okay, so you'll get theta value first, 0.92 into 100 minus theta divided by 46. So is equal to, so this is theta by 13 into 0.26 plus 0.12 into theta divided by 12. So from this you will get theta value. What is the theta value? 40 degrees centigrade. All of you got this. Theta should be 40 degrees centigrade. All of you got this, children? Theta should be 40. Okay, first, yeah, cancels by 2, yes. So theta will be 40 degrees centigrade. You will simplify. First copy till here. Once we get theta, now apply, so heat current. So what is the formula for heat current? Temperature difference, 100 minus 40 divided by L by Ka. L by Ka, 0.92 into 4. You solve it, simplify, you'll get 4.8. Everything is in SI unit, 4.8 calories per second. Okay. Now separately, once we get the junction temperature, you apply that formula, you get that answer. Temperature difference divided by thermal resistance. That's the formula. Then children, have you copied this? Next question on thermodynamics. So 1 mole of diatomic ideal gas, 1 mole of diatomic ideal gas undergoes a cyclic process. Undergoes a cyclic process. Undergoes a cyclic process. ABC, as shown in the figure. As shown in the figure. As shown in the figure. Okay, now the process BC is adiabatic. The process BC is adiabatic. Is adiabatic. The temperatures at A, B, C are the temperatures, temps, okay, full I write temperatures. The temperatures at A, B, C are at A, comma B and C are and C are 400 Kelvin, 800 Kelvin, 600 Kelvin respectively. Kelvin respectively. So now choose the correct statement. Choose the correct statement. Choose the correct statement. Choose the correct statement. Okay. Okay. So I'll give the diagram, but before I give the diagram, options also I'll write. Option A. The change in internal energy in the whole cyclic process is the change in internal energy. Internal energy in the whole cyclic process. I'll give the diagram in the whole cyclic process. Cyclic process is 250 R. 250 R. Second, option B. Option B. The change in internal energy in the process CA is 700 R. The change in internal energy the change in internal energy in the process CA in the process CA in the process CA is 700 R. Is 700 R. Okay. C. Next option C. The change in internal energy. Shall give some gap. The change in internal energy. The change in internal energy in the process AB is in the process AB is minus 350 R. Option D. The change in internal energy in the process BC is the change in internal energy in the process BC is minus 500 R. Okay, minus 500 R. Okay, children. This is option B, this is C, this is D. I'll give the diagram. PV diagram. This is P, this is V. Okay. A, B, C. So temperatures, temperature are given at ABC. This is the figure. Figure given now. Not, not able to see this diagram. Huh? Okay. At A, what is the temperature? At A, 400 Kelvin. At B, 800 Kelvin. At C, 600 Kelvin. BC is isothermal process, they said. Sorry, BC is adiabatic process. Adiabatic process. So now what they're asking, the change in internal energy, the whole process and also in each process. Yes, answer. It is diatomic ideal gas. 1 mole. Answer D, Vaibhav, correct. Vaibhav Darshan. Vaibhav, yeah, offline students will answer this. Why? Because I explained this concept to offline students. All topics I explained. So offline students can do that. Children, huh? Amara, what man? What Vaibhav Darshan? Yes, Vaibhav Darshan has answered. Remaining students. Yes, answer. No idea. Dheeraj. Sham Krishna, correct. Option D. Atul Pillai, correct. Yes, others. Still you need time. Anup Senthil, correct. Yeah. Okay. I'll explain. Actually, so this is the state function. Internal energy is a state function. So this is the formula for internal energy generally. U equal to N by 2 Fr dt. Or else, sorry, change in internal energy. Change in du is equal to N by 2 Fr dt, or else okay. So du is equal to N by 2 Fr dt. This is change in internal energy. This is change in internal energy formula. This change in internal energy, you can also write like this. So NCV dt, NCV dt, NCV dt. There are two formulae for finding the change in internal energy, children. N by 2 Fr dt or NCV dt. So you can write any form. So NCV dt or N by 2 Fr dt. So in N by 2 Fr dt, so N is number of moles, children. Number of moles. Number of moles. So F is degrees of freedom, number of degrees of freedom, number of degrees of freedom of that type of gas, degrees of freedom, and so dt is change in temperature. dt is change in temperature. dt is change in temperature. Okay, so you can use this formula or this formula. n by 2 fr dt, okay, or else ncv dt. So if you go with this formula, first formula, now internal energy is a state function, and also internal energy depends on only the temperature. So this is the formula for change in internal energy. Generally, internal energy is n by 2 FRT, n by 2 FRT, n by 2 FRT. So clearly, children, see here, for that type of gas, for that gas, so internal energy depends on only temperature. Internal energy depends on only temperature, is a state function. So in the whole cyclic process, so when the gas comes back to the point A, so there is no change in temperature and there is no change in the temperature for the whole cyclic process. The change in internal energy is also zero. So the change in internal energy in the whole cyclic process is 250 R. It is wrong because in the whole cyclic process, the change in internal energy is zero. The change in internal energy is zero in the whole cyclic process. Okay. Now, then second, is remember that formula n by 2 fr dt or ncv dt. Now second, okay. So second option. Okay, second. So in the second, what is the second option? The change in internal energy in the process CA. Okay, CA. What is the temperature at C? It is 600 Kelvin. So what is the temperature at A? 400 Kelvin. Okay. Now see this change in internal energy in the process C to A. C is children. N number of n by 2 fr dt formula only. N by 2 fr dt. dt means change in temperature. Okay. So n is number of moles is 1 by 2. So it is a diatomic gas. For diatomic gas, number of degrees of freedom is 5. So 5 are change in temperature, final temperature minus initial temperature. C to A, final temperature minus initial temperature. So what you'll get here, 5R by 2 into minus 200. So that equal to minus 500 R. So it is also wrong. The change in the internal energy in the process A to B, the process A to B, in the process A to B. Okay. Okay. So here in the process A to B, A to B. So what is the temperature here? 800 Kelvin. Same formula apply. Same formula apply. Change in internal energy in the process A to B. Okay. Number of moles is 1 by 2. F number of degrees of freedom is F 5. So R. So 800 minus 400. 400. How much you'll get here? 5R by 2 into 400. So that equal to 1000 R you will get here. So plus 1000 R. So even it is wrong. Now option D. You can calculate for option D. Okay. So DU, the process B to C. The process B to C. Say N is 1, N by 2. F is 5. So R is R. So dt 600 minus 800. Minus 800, always final minus initial. So how much you'll get here? Minus 500 R. Children, there was time with the offline students. That's why I gave all this formula. Thermodynamics and kinetic theory of gases also, I gave the formula for them. But for you, I didn't give because I thought that there will be only one, only class will be there today. So that's why I didn't give formula for those two chapters. Okay, shall we go to the next one? Understood this problem? Okay, let me see who will solve this. Okay, see this question. The PV diagram the given PV diagram represents the thermodynamic cycle of an engine of an engine operating with an ideal monoatomic gas. Operating with an ideal monoatomic gas. With an ideal monoatomic gas. The amount of heat extracted from the source extracted from the source in a single cycle is in a single cycle is okay, right. So very important model, children. Okay, so don't worry about the concepts of thermodynamics. Now here itself, when I'm teaching these previous mains questions, here itself I will give the concepts related to that, how I gave the formula for internal energy and change in internal energy. So here itself I'll give. Okay, don't worry. So we have time, and don't worry, I'll give the formula and concepts here itself. This is V naught, this is 2V naught. This is P naught and this is 2P naught. Okay. Okay, so what they're asking? So they're asking the amount of heat extracted from the source in a single cycle is heat extracted. What do you mean by heat extracted? So heat extracted, so it will be heat extracted from the hot source. That is amount of heat extracted from the source in a single cycle. Who will extract heat from the source? The heat engine. The ideal gas, right? Ideal gas. So the basic working of heat engine, is this. So there will be working substance, that is gas. Gas will be the working substance, and so there will be source here. Source will be maintained at higher temperature. Source will supply heat energy. And so with the help of that heat energy, so it will do certain amount of mechanical work. Okay, as mechanical work, and the remaining heat energy will be given to the sink. Okay, so this is the basic working of a gas. So now children, see here, heat extracted by gas is same as heat supplied to the gas. Am I correct? Yes or no? Here, this is the basic working of a heat engine. The basic working of a heat engine. So now see here. Heat extracted by the gas is same as heat supplied to the gas, right? Now, you have to understand first law of thermodynamics. Here itself, I am giving the formula and concepts. Don't worry. dq, this is the first law of thermodynamics. dq is equal to du plus dw. Am I correct, children? This is first law of thermodynamics. This first law of thermodynamics is a consequence of law of conservation of energy. dq, now we talk about dq. dq will be positive. dq will be positive when we supply to the gas. When we supply to the working substance, supply to the gas. So when we supply, it will be positive. It will be negative when we extract from the gas, not from the sink. When we extract from the gas, it will be negative in physics. And du, what about du? du will be positive when temperature rises, when T rises. Okay, so du will be negative when T decreases, when temperature decreases. Okay, understood? These are the sign conventions. And what about work done? Work done will be positive when volume increases, children. When volume increases. When volume increases. dW will be negative when volume decreases. When volume decreases. Okay. So work done will be negative when volume decreases. Work done will be positive when volume increases. Okay. So write all these sign conventions. Dhanadhan fatafat. Here itself for each problem, what concept is required, that concept here itself I'll cover the concepts and formula while explaining the problems. And tomorrow also while explaining the problems only in thermodynamics and kinetic theory of gases, I'll give all the concepts and formula. Then now tell me when work done will be positive. When work done will be positive. When work done will be positive. When volume increases. Work done by the gas. That is also okay. Work done by the gas, or when volume, basically when volume increases. So when volume increases, work will be done by the gas. When work is done on the gas, then volume decreases obviously. When volume decreases, work done will be negative. And when heat supplied, when that heat will be positive. Heat will be positive when it is supplied to the gas. It will be negative when it is taken from the gas. Du will be positive when temperature rises. Du will be negative when temperature decreases. So all of you copied that, children? Copied? Done? Okay. So now the amount of heat extracted, that is they're asking amount of heat extracted means the amount of heat supplied to the gas, means only positive value they're asking. They're not asking dq negative value. They're asking only positive value. Now let us now for each process, children, for each process you have to apply first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics can be applied for each process. So actually it is a cyclic process. So for this in this cyclic process, so for each process uh, you can apply first law of thermodynamics, and by applying first law of thermodynamics, you come to know where you have supplied heat, where you have extracted heat. So where and all you have supplied heat, where and all you have extracted heat. So you can calculate. So let us okay. So this process, I'll start with this process. Say this is A, B, C, D. Okay. Now in the process A to B is isobaric. Am I correct, children? Isobaric expansion. Yes or no? The process A to B A to B is isobaric expansion. Why do you say expansion? Volume is increasing, right? Volume is increasing. Okay, so it is isobaric expansion. So here heat will be supplied to the gas. Why heat will be supplied to the gas? See here. So dq will be dq for the process A to B. For the process A to B. A to B. For the process A to B. dq is equal to du plus dw. Okay. Now, how do you calculate dw, work done? Area under PV graph gives you work done. Area under PV graph gives you work done. PV graph gives you work done. Gives you work done. Children, all of you remember this? Area under PV graph gives you work done. Now, I have a PV graph like this. This is the PV graph. Here itself, I am explaining all the topics related to that. Topics and definitions and formula. This is a PV graph. Now tell me, this is a process. This is a thermodynamic process A to B. We'll come to that problem later. This is a thermodynamic process A to B. Now tell me, work done is positive or negative? Tell me, work done is positive or negative? Work done is positive or negative? Work done is positive or negative. Why it is positive? If it is negative, why it is negative? If it is negative, why it is negative? If it is positive, why it is positive? It is positive. Work done is positive. Here, volume is increasing. Volume is increasing. See this. Volume is increasing. Don't see the pressure. What is happening to pressure? So don't see what is happening to pressure. Pressure is decreasing here. Okay. While deciding the sign of work done, don't see the P axis. Don't see what is happening to P. See only what is happening to volume. Tell me what is happening to volume? Increasing. So whenever volume increases, work done is positive. Okay. Now how to calculate this work done, children? To calculate this work done, so in this process A to B. So in this process A to B, if you want to calculate work done, now what you have to do? You have to draw a perpendicular line to the volume axis from the initial state and final state. From initial state and final state, so you have to draw perpendicular lines onto the volume axis. Now the entire area under that straight line gives you work done. That entire area under that straight line will give you the work done. That is work done. So how do you calculate this work done? Area of the trapezium. This is the area of the trapezium. So this entire area gives you work done in this process. Understood, children, all of you? Understood? Understood, all of you? Okay. Now, one more thing. I'm explaining all those concepts in thermodynamics because we felt that sir has not taught for online students. That's why I'm teaching all those concepts. Okay. Now, see here. One more example. This is PV graph. PV graph. Now tell me, what is happening to, what will be the sign of work done now in the process A to B? In the process A to B, what is the sign of work done? Negative. So work done is negative. Why? Volume is decreasing. Even though pressure is increasing, so volume is decreasing. Volume is decreasing. So volume is decreasing. So work done is negative. Then how do you calculate the work done? The entire area till the volume axis. Till the volume axis, the entire area. So you have to calculate that entire area gives you work done. Okay, one more example. So like this, so you can find the sign of work done. Area under PV graph gives you work done. So like this, you can find the sign also. Now, okay, now see this. We have a PV diagram like this. Basically, work done is dW equal to P into dV, basically, fundamental formula. What do you mean by dV here? What do you mean by dV here? Change in volume. Am I correct? Change in volume. Children. So if there is change in the volume, then only work is said to be done. If there is no change in the volume, work is said to be not done. Work done is zero. There is isochoric process. In isochoric process, work done is zero. Now I have a process A to B. Work done is positive or negative? Work done is positive or negative? Positive. And also this is isobaric process. Why do you say this is isobaric process? Tell me. Process A to B is isobaric. Why isobaric? Constant P. Constant P. Okay. So what is this work done? What is this work done? Suppose if I ask you to calculate work done from process A to B, so till the volume axis, so that the entire area you have to calculate. Remember, entire area I have to calculate only for the process A to B. Okay. Now, I don't stop here. I'll take the gas, ideal gas from B to, I'll take the ideal gas from B to C. B to C. Now tell me, children, what is the work done from B to C? Work done from B to C, zero. Yeah, zero. Why? Because isochoric process. Okay. Tell me, children, what is the work done from C to D? Is it C to D is isochoric process, sorry, isobaric process. Am I correct? Isobaric process. Volume is decreasing or increasing? Decreasing, negative. Okay. What? So if I ask you, okay, wait. If I ask you what is work done from C to D, how do you calculate? If I ask you what is the work done from C to D, this area below that straight line, this is work done from C to D. Am I correct? And this is negative area, means negative work done. Now I don't stop here. I go from D to A again isochorically. What is the work done from D to A? Okay. Now children, tell me, what is the work done from A to B? Work done from A to B is that whole thing, yes or no? Work done from A to B is the whole thing, okay? Whole thing, yes. What is the work done from C to D? This part only. A to B is positive work done. From A to B, positive work is done. From C to D, negative is work done. Now tell me, altogether in the whole cyclic process, what is the net amount of work done? Positive work is done or negative work is done? The whole cyclic process, what is the work done? Area of that area enclosed by that process positive. Why? Because see here, positive area is bigger than negative area. Now tell me, what is the net amount of work done? Net amount of work done is the area enclosed by that square or rectangle. Am I correct? Area enclosed by that. So always remember, children, in a cyclic process, in any cyclic process, work done is given by the area enclosed by the closure figure. The closure figure may be square, it may be rectangle, it may be circle, anything. So work done by any cyclic. So how do you calculate work done in a cyclic process? So the area enclosed by that. If the process is clockwise, just now we have seen children. If the process is clockwise, the net amount of work done is positive. That's why in a clockwise cyclic process, work done is positive. What if the cyclic process is anti-clockwise? The net amount of work done is negative. But how do you calculate that work done? Area enclosed by that loop. Okay, understood? Got my point, children? Got my point? Any doubt in this? Okay. So no doubt. Clear? Is it clear? Cyclic process, if you want, write that point. In a clockwise cyclic process, work done is positive. In a clockwise cyclic process, work done is positive. Write that point. In a clockwise cyclic process, work done is positive. In a clockwise cyclic process, work done is positive. And in anti-clockwise cyclic process, work done is negative. Okay. I'll ask you one more question. See, children, this is PV curve. Now this is circular process, cyclic circular process. Work done is positive or negative? Work done is positive or negative? The circular process. Positive. Why positive? Yeah, clockwise. Yeah, clockwise. Okay. How do you calculate? How do you calculate the work done? Area enclosed by this loop. Am I correct? So if it is a rectangular loop or square loop, there is no doubt in calculating. So you will not get any doubt in calculating area. But here in this case, how do you calculate the area for a circular process? This is P2, this is P1, okay? This is V1, this is V2. Pi r square only, you have to apply pi r square only. Now, diameter. So area is given by pi d square by 4. Am I correct, children? Here, two diameters we have. Pi d1 d2 divided by 4. Instead of writing d square, I write d1 and d2. D1 is pressure diameter. Pressure diameter. What is pressure diameter? P2 minus P1. D2 is volume diameter. V2 minus V1 divided by 4. This is how you have to calculate the work done if it is a circular cyclic process. Suppose if it is anti-clockwise process, then you have to put minus sign. And this is work done. This is work done. So understood, children? Understood all of you? How do you calculate area of cyclic circular process? Understood that? Any doubt in this? How do you calculate work done? Okay. Trapezium is not there. Trapezium is not there. This entire area, man, is a cyclic process. It's a cyclic process. This is a cyclic process. In any cyclic process, work done is equal to area enclosed by that cyclic process. Okay. Now, what is the difference between cyclic process and open process? Open process means it's not closed. Now, again, I will ask one more question. You may get confused. So for you not to get confused, I'll ask one more question. Say, children, suppose there is a, why it's not writing? Okay. Suppose there is a PV curve like this. I have a process like this, A to B. It is not a cyclic process. How do you calculate the work done? So to calculate the work done, you have to draw perpendicular lines. If it is not a cyclic process, you have to draw perpendicular lines from initial point and final point. This entire area till the volume axis you have to cover. Remember. Yes. Till the volume axis. Yes. Till the volume axis. Okay. Yes. I'll give one more example. So I'll give one more example. Okay. See, I have a process. This is the PV diagram. I have a process like this. Yeah. Now, how do you calculate the work done? Abhi boliye. A to B, B to C, C to D. Now, so how to calculate work done? It's not a cyclic process. So in this case, what you have to do, see, children, when the process is not cyclic, when the process is not closed, when the curve is not closed, find out which is the initial point. From initial point, draw a perpendicular line to the volume axis. From final point, also draw a perpendicular line to the volume axis. Now this entire area, this is how you have to calculate. Understood, children? Understood? What clarity? Okay. So this is how, suppose if it is not a cyclic process, wherever may be the initial point, wherever may be the final point, see where is the initial point, draw a perpendicular line from initial point to the volume axis, draw a perpendicular line from the final point. Yeah, if it is not a closed process, if it is not a closed process, if it is not a closed curve, always you have to do this. Okay, understood, children? So all of you got that clarity? Now, someone is asking, so what if it is a open curve? What if it is a open curve? Even for open curve also same thing you have to do. Even for open curve also same thing you have to do. See, this is P, this is V. It's a open curve like this. Okay. Okay, this is a process. What is the initial point? This is the initial point. This is the final point. Draw a perpendicular line from the initial point. Draw a perpendicular line to the final point. That's it. The entire area, this entire area. Understood, children? Understood? Okay. So that one point, so you have to, yeah, integration, but such problems will not come. Don't worry. Okay. So how to calculate work done you got, children? Now, how to calculate internal energy? As yeah, so already we have seen the previous problem. Du equal to internal energy. So du is a two formula you can apply. Du equal to NCV dt or N by 2 FR dt. Two formula you can apply. Okay. Okay. So an ideal monoatomic gas is given. Operating with an ideal monoatomic gas, the amount of heat, ideal monoatomic gas here. Number of moles is not given. Okay, monoatomic gas is given, so number of degrees of freedom you can calculate. But to find the change in internal energy, so dt you require. dt means what? Change in temperature. Change in temperature here, so temperatures are not given directly, children. Temperatures are not given directly, but P and V values are given. Now, so at point A, I want to find temperature. At point A in the PV graph, okay, I still am not going to the problem. So to solve this problem, so one more concept is required. Okay. So here at point A, I want to find the temperature. So how to find the temperature at the point A? Anybody in the class? How to find the temperature at the point A? So understand this, all of you. Understand this, all of you. If PV curve is given to you, or PT curve is given to you, or VT curve is given to you, you know two values at any state. You know two values at any state. At any state, you know two values, P and V. The other variable, the other thermodynamic variable will be calculated by ideal gas equation. PV is equal to mu RT or nRT. So PV equal to nRT. So T is equal to PV by nR. PV by nR. Now tell me what is the temperature at the point A? Temperature at the point A is 2P naught. What is the pressure at point A? 2P naught. What is the volume what is the volume at point A? V naught divided by N into R. So that is equal to 2P naught V naught divided by R, nR. Similarly, what is the temperature at the point B? So pressure is 2P naught, volume is 2V naught divided by nR. So that is equal to, so 4P naught V naught divided by nR. Like this, you can calculate the temperature at any point. At the point C, what is the temperature? At the point C, what is the temperature? So directly, so 2P naught V naught by nR. So now at the point D, what is the temperature? So it is P naught V naught by nR. Now, children, tell me, in the process A to B, they didn't give n value, but we can eliminate that. Wait, we can eliminate that. Don't worry. We can eliminate that. Children, see here, in the process A to B, what is happening to the temperature? Increasing or decreasing, children? In the process A to B, when the gas goes from A to B, temperature is increasing or decreasing in the process A to B? Increasing. When temperature is increasing, tell me, children, tell me, children, du is positive or negative? du is positive or negative? Positive. Very good, very good, very good. Now, abhi bataye, in the process A to B, volume is increasing or decreasing, children? Volume is increasing or decreasing? Increasing. So work done is positive or negative? Positive. Okay, positive. Yeah, positive. Okay. Now tell me, children, all together, so dq is positive or negative? dq is positive or negative? dq is positive means what? Heat is supplied to the gas or not? Heat is supplied to the gas or not? Heat is supplied to the gas in the process A to B. Children, this is very, very important. PV curve will be given, or PT curve will be given, or TP curve will be given, and they ask you in which process heat is supplied, or in which process heat is extracted from the gas. Knowing that is very, very important in physics. So they will give PV curve or TP curve or VT curve. From that, so you need to understand, you need to analyze in which process heat is supplied, in which process heat is extracted from the gas. So to know that, you have to apply first law of thermodynamics for each process, Now come to BC, come to process BC. In the BC process, what is happening to the temperature? Tell me, what is happening to the temperature? What is the temperature at B? 4 P naught V naught by NR. So what is the temperature at C? 2 P naught V naught. Okay. What is happening to temperature, children? Tell me. Temperature. What is happening to temperature? Decreasing. Okay. So temperature is decreasing, right? Yes. In the process B to C. In the process B to C, separately I have to do that. The dq again, first of thermodynamics, dq equal to du plus dw. Of course, dw is 0. dq equal to du. Am I correct? So dw is 0. Okay, now tell me, children. In the process B to C, temperature is decreasing. So when the temperature is decreasing, what will happen to internal energy, children? It will become negative. Then what will happen to dq, children? What will happen to dq? Negative. So heat is supplied to the gas or heat is taken from the gas? It is supplied to the gas or heat is extracted. So this is denied. We don't want that. That process we don't want. Why? Because their heat is extracted from the gas. They're asking only the amount heat extracted from the source means, what does it mean? Heat is supplied to the gas. You understand this? Heat supplied to the gas. We want only heat supplied to the gas. As of now, in which process heat is supplied, children? Only in the process A to B. Heat is supplied because dq is positive. Now come to B to C, B to C. So dq is negative. Heat is extracted from the gas. We don't want. Now come to process C to D. Come to the process C to D. Volume. So C to D process. Now children, tell me. So dq is equal to, it is isobaric process again. dq equal to du plus dw. dq equal to du plus dw. Okay. So this is a complete, for the complete cyclic process, you have to do that. Okay. So what is happening to temperature? What is happening to temperature? Decreasing. So du is negative. du is negative. And what is happening to work done? Negative. So negative plus negative. So dq is negative or positive? dq is negative. We don't want this. Now come to D to A. D to A, what is happening? Work done. D to A process, dq is equal to du only, du only, du only. dq equal to d only, no dw. So what is happening to temperature? Increasing. So it is positive. So work done. So here dq is positive. Now tell me, in which process, in which of these four process heat is supplied to the gas? Tell me, where heat is supplied to the gas? In the process A to B, heat is supplied. In the process D to A, heat is supplied. They're asking only the heat supplied to the gas. They are not asking these two. They are asking only the heat supplied. So you calculate dq value in the process A to B, and also you calculate dq value in the process D to A. How do you calculate dq? By applying first law of thermodynamics. That part we'll do tomorrow. Very, very important model. Okay, so that part we'll do tomorrow. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay, that's all for today. Tomorrow we'll continue the same problem. Okay.